Alright guys, Wrestlemania 28 has come and gone. Biggest show of the year. So I thought I'd go ahead and do my review of it. I have to say that overall I was a little disappointed. It's a weird feeling. I had all this build up to it and everybody was so excited, and it just kind of came and went. Not much that really stood out. The main event was good. I did like The Rock versus Cena, and I liked the finish. But I have to say the show as a whole was just, it felt like something was missing. Something was off. I don't know if it was the atmosphere, the big stadium. You couldn't really hear the fans, but I don't know. It was underwhelming to me. So I'll just start with the pre-show, which was Matt Striker and Josh Matthews calling the Usos versus Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel versus Epico and Primo for the tag titles. This was really good. Epico hits a backstabber on one of the Usos for the win, but it was a good match. Tyson Kidd was really good here. I thought the Usos were good too. Then we see Daniel Bryan. He says he's beat every opponent, and he pinned Sheamus on Raw. Says Sheamus will make a mistake and he's going to capitalize on it. And then he has AJ hold the world title and run around him screaming, "Yes, yes." Lillian Garcia sings the national anthem. And then we get Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan with AJ for the World Heavyweight Championship. There are a ton of yes signs in the crowd. A ton of them. A lot of yes chants. The match opens up. Daniel Bryan goes to kiss AJ. And when he turns around, he gets hit with a bro kick, and Sheamus gets the win. In 18 seconds, this match ended. I don't know if this was an April Fool's thing or what the hell this was. It was horrible. Daniel Bryan loses in 18 seconds. This was garbage in my opinion. This was one of the matches I was looking forward to. A lot of other people were looking forward to. It was one of the big four. And it opened the show, which I also didn't like they did last year with Del Rio and Edge. It just makes the World Heavyweight Championship look weaker in comparison to the WWE Championship. We all know it is weaker, but they don't have to just throw it out there in your face. So then we see Team Johnny backstage. The Miz is talking about how he main evented last year and won. They got a Bella twin with him. Laurinaitis says it's going to be a huge moment, like Hogan slamming Andre or Austin refusing to tap to the sharpshooter. We get Kane versus Orton. The fans are chanting Daniel Bryan, I believe. It was kind of hard to hear him. But Kane wins with a choke slam from the second rope. I'm glad Kane won the match. It wasn't a bad match, but they just kind of threw these two guys together. Didn't really mean anything. And this could have been on any pay-per-view. We see Santino backstage talking to Keith of the Wizard Boat from Deadliest Catch. I actually do like that show. And Mick Foley's with them, and they have all these crabs in front of them, and they're attacking them. Santino's attacking them with the Cobra. Foley's using Sacco. Ron Simmons comes up and says, "Damn!" And that was it. We get Cody Rhodes versus Big Show for Intercontinental title. Show tries to smother Cody Rhodes with his ass. Cody hits a disaster kick, but Show is still standing up. He goes for another kick and gets hit with a spear and the WMD, giving Big Show the win, and he becomes new Intercontinental Champion. I'm fine with that. I predicted it would be Cody, but Big Show did have a good promo on SmackDown about how it's time for his moment, and I thought it's fine either way. It can help the Intercontinental title, and maybe now Cody can move on to bigger and better things, hopefully. Then we have Beth Phoenix and Eve versus Kelly Kelly and Maria Menounos. Maria has 2 broke ribs and is still doing Dancing with the Stars, and she still showed up here and did a pretty good amount of stuff. More than I thought she would. So she's definitely a tough girl. And she eventually gets a roll-up on Beth, and she gets the win. So crowd was chanting yes during this match too. Then we get Matt Striker talking with Shawn Michaels. Michaels says it's the end of an era. It's either going to be the end of the streak or the end of the game. And he says he's got the power to end an era in his hands. JR comes out. He's got facial hair here, so he's healed JR. The reason I say that is because back in the older days of wrestling, the bad guys would always have facial hair. It's how you could tell them apart from good guy and bad guy. And it's just funny when JR comes out and he's got facial hair like this goatee, like it's evil JR, like his evil twin or something. But he comes out, of course, to call a Hell in a Cell match. I thought this match was pretty good. I don't know if it was better than last year's Triple H Taker match. It's really close. I liked it, but I can't say for sure if I thought it was better than last year's, because I really liked last year's. But it was a decent match regardless. HBK comes out. I don't know if they had pyro or not. I heard pyro going off, but I did not see any. I don't know if there was a mess up there or not. Excuse me. Triple H comes out. He's got this big setup thing he walks through. It's kind of like that outfit he wears where he wears the armor and the crown. It's just a big model thing of that, and he walks through it. Undertaker comes out wearing this coat. He looks like Baraka from Mortal Kombat with all these spikes coming out of her, like some kind of black death metal singer. But he takes that thing off the hood and he shows his haircut, and it wasn't that shocking, I guess. Triple H is staring at him like, oh my god, what the hell? But it was really just like a mohawk, but really short, like a crew cut. So yeah, he's not completely bald or anything. They play Memory Remains while they lower the cage. The announcers keep talking about how Taker was cutting his hair every day after losing to Triple H. Yeah. I thought that was funny. This entire match, Taker pretty much dominates Triple H. Then Triple H starts using the chair, and HBK takes the chair and tells him, cover him, end it. And so Triple H gets mad, and he shoves Michaels, and he continues beating the hell out of Undertaker with his chair. He tells HBK to end it, and he asks Taker, and Taker says, don't stop it. I also notice here that Triple H's eye is busted open, and he does have blood on his face, so I know people were saying there's not going to be blood. If you count that, there was blood. Taker gets HBK in Hell's Gate because he doesn't want him to stop the match. So Triple H hits Taker with a sledgehammer. Then he gets Triple H in Hell's Gate, but HBK is out. He can't make the count. Then another referee comes out, and he enters the cage, and then Taker chokeslams him. Shawn Michaels super kicks Undertaker, and Triple H hits a pedigree, but Taker kicks out. The only thing I can think of why Shawn Michaels super kicked him was because he wanted to end it before anybody got really hurt. Because he continues to make counts. When Taker pins Triple H, Shawn Michaels still counts it. So it's not like he was trying to screw Taker and work with Triple H or something like that. So yeah, Undertaker kicks out of it. Then Triple H kicks out of a tombstone. Taker kicks out of another pedigree. And Taker starts using the chair on Triple H, just beating the hell out of him. And Triple H kicks out of this. Taker tells him to stay down, kind of like Triple H told him last year. And Triple H crawls up the Undertaker, makes it to his feet, and he does a crotch chop. So Taker knocks him out with a sledgehammer, and Taker gets the win with a tombstone. So he's 20-0. At the end of the match, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels help Triple H up, and they all leave together. And I thought that was pretty awesome, and I thought the whole thing came off really good. And as they're leaving, you can see the welts on Taker's back from the chair shots, and it was just nasty. Howard Finkel comes out with the Hall of Famers, Mil Mascaras, Yokozuna and his family, or Yokozuna's family, sorry. Ron Simmons, the Four Horsemen, Mike Tyson doing crotch chops, and Edge. Then we see Josh Matthews waiting to talk to Flo Rida. He comes out, Heath Slater shows up, asks if he'll do a duet with him. He says no. He says Heath Slater can hold his mic, and then he pushes him really hard. Tyler Rex and Kurt Hawkins show up and laugh at him. That was it. Brie Bella introduces Team Johnny. Nikki Bella introduces Team Teddy. Ryder comes out with Eve. As soon as I saw Eve with him, I was like, oh god, this is going to be in the finish somehow. I did notice that this is the most I have ever heard of Teddy Long's entrance music. But the thing I didn't like about this is they're wearing the red and blue shirts like they do for the draft, where it's Team Raw and Team SmackDown. I hate that when they wear those damn shirts the whole time. It doesn't come off like a real match. Basically, Ryder is doing good. He hits the Rough Rider, and Eve comes in the ring, and she starts doing the woo 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 thing with him, so they're fist pumping. And while he's distracted by this, Miz comes in and hits a skull-crushing finale, giving Team Johnny the win. After the match, Zack Ryder looks all upset, and Eve kicks him in the balls. And that was it. I thought this was fine. Team Johnny winning is what I wanted to see as a fan, and what makes sense for the storyline. It wouldn't make sense to have Teddy win and be the babyface general manager. Not when Laurinaitis has so much heat. You don't want to waste that. So this was good. Match was okay. Tori Wilson's in the crowd. They show her a little bit. And then backstage we see CM Punk getting ready for his match. Team Johnny walks by. Laurinaitis stops and says, Punk looks angry, and he doesn't want a brawl out there. He wants a wrestling match. Tells him if Punk gets disqualified, he also loses the title. So Punk can't get himself disqualified out there. So during the match, Punk versus Jericho for the WWE title, Jericho at the start is trying to get Punk to disqualify himself and attack him, saying stuff like, how's your father? At one point, Punk goes outside and gets a chair and comes in, but he's about to use it. Jericho's saying everything he can think of about his sister and his father, but Punk stays calm, doesn't use the chair. They have a okay match. I thought the beginning was a little bit slow. Punk did take a suplex to the outside. That was like some Necro Butcher shit right there. It was crazy. I also noticed there was some kind of weird audio thing. I don't know if maybe it was just me, but some kind of like audio where they were really close to the wrestlers and you could kind of hear them and then you could hear the people around the crowd. It was kind of strange. It may have just been me, but Punk goes for a Hurricane Rana off the top rope, but he gets caught in the walls of Jericho. He gets out of that. I thought it was a cool spot. And then Jericho gets him in another walls of Jericho, and I thought this was it. I thought this was going to be the end of the match, but he gets out of it. They do some roll-ups. He gets him in the Anaconda Vice. He reverses it. They keep going back and forth, back and forth. This was awesome. Then Jericho gets caught in the Anaconda Vice one more time. He's trying to get out of it. He's trying to reach the ropes. He can't get any. He can't get his knees up to Punk's head. There's no way out of it. He taps out. I thought that was awesome. I thought it was a good match. It just, I don't know. Wasn't awesome to me, but it was good. And I did like the finish. Oh God! And then we get this segment, and this was horrible. Brodus Clay comes out. This was just the shits here. He doesn't do much. He stays at the ramp, and he tells everybody to pull out their phones and call their mamas. And then he calls his mama. She comes out, some lady, and she's got the Bridge Club with her, and it's all these girls dressed like old ladies, and they do a big dance routine, and that was it. This was horrible. They got 4 hours. And they got shit like this on the show. And they have to end Daniel Bryan and Sheamus in 18 seconds? Come on, people. Oh, God. So this was bad. And I think it's ridiculous that Brodus Clay has an entire gimmick based around a theme song that was Ernest the Cat Miller's. It's not even his song. Ernest the Cat Miller used this back in 2003, 2004. And now Brodus Clay is using the same theme song, and it's like his entire gimmick is Call Your Mama. So bad. They show a trailer for the G.I. Joe movie with The Rock. Pete Diddy comes out. God, this show. He introduces Machine Gun Kelly. They sing the Invincible song, and Machine Gun Kelly puts John Cena over. Says that Cena's the underdog, and the fans boo the shit out of him. Cena comes out. He's got a new shirt. This one's green. Flo Rida comes out. Does some songs. I thought it was funny because he's doing these rap songs, and it's showing The Rock's videos on the Titantron. And it shows that clip where the kid throws a berry, I guess from the Journey to the Center of the Earth movie or whatever, and The Rock, it bounces off The Rock's chest. It's just funny. They have like all this momentum. It's going to be a huge match, and then it shows that clip. I just thought that was really funny. But Flo Rida does his thing, and then we get The Rock versus John Cena. This match was surprisingly long. I thought they would keep it kind of short, but yeah, they went a long time here. It was good. It started a little bit slow, and I think they were kind of warming up, and then it just got really good. I felt the crowd was into it. Rock kicks out of an attitude adjustment. Cena kicks out of a rock bottom. Rock kicks out of another attitude adjustment, and Cena's like, what the hell do I do now? So Cena goes to do the people's elbow. He takes off one of his merchandise things, and he goes to do a people's elbow, and he gets hit with the rock bottom, and Rock gets the win. I thought that was an awesome finish. I said in my prediction show that it could go either way. I figured they'd go with Cena, and they'd play it safe. But they were in Rock's hometown. They want the fans to go home happy, and they're talking about doing this again next year, so why not just let The Rock go over? I'm glad they did. I was very happy watching this. The only thing was, it just felt like the match was good. The main event was good. But the rest of the show, it was just really underwhelming. I thought there would be some big surprise, and there was nothing, really. No surprises. I mean, I've been reading all week about how Brock Lesnar's down there, and they're in talks to do WrestleMania next year, and maybe get him a light schedule for this year. I thought maybe Lord Tensai would come out and do something. Prince Albert with Team John Laurinaitis. I thought maybe Batista was picked up by WWE in Miami. They've been doing some talking about business. I figured some surprise, and we got nothing. So I was a little disappointed with that. I thought maybe they could have The Rock and Cena, nobody loses, and then have Brock come out and lay one of them out and set up like Rock versus Brock next year or something like that. I don't know. But just something special. But I have to say, The Rock winning made me really happy, so it wasn't all bad, but yeah, it just felt like an underwhelming Mania to me, and it felt like it was kind of just missing something, but that's my opinion. So that's my review of WrestleMania 28. Leave your thoughts on this show in the comments below, and let me know what you thought of it. And that's it. I'll be back tomorrow to do Monday Night Raw, so check that out too. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and that's it. So thanks for watching.